Oh boy, look at those skies. Not bad over there. Look at that right ahead. It's been like this for 3 days now, except for it's been raining all 3 days. And this is my first trip out on the bike. Headed to the store, had to get a few little essentials. And I gotta tell you, it feels so good to be on this bike. Oh man, just to be able to stretch my legs out and lean back against my backrest and just let the vibrations of the bike and the road and the sound just flow over me. It is my mental health. It is my zen. Because let me tell you something. These 3 days have showed me something. Yep. I'm Sam, and I'm a bikeaholic. Yep, I didn't know that I was. I suspected I was. I thought I might have a problem, but I wasn't really sure. But these 3 days of rain have proven it to me. Because I'll tell you something, I love this motorcycle. And I have so missed it. Missed just getting on it and riding and letting all the cares, all the drama, everything just flow away and end up behind me somewhere where it can't catch me. And it's not a bad night right now. It's getting ready to, not quite dark yet, but it's going to be there soon. And I've just made a little quick trip to the store, headed back to the house. But let me tell you, so nice. It's been rainy for the last 3 days. It's been that horrible rain. It's been that drizzly sort of, heavier than a mist, but not quite a full rain kind of rain, kind that if you can walk in and out of the house and do something and not get wet necessarily, but if you get on the bike and you ride for a few miles, you know that you notice your pants are wet all of a sudden. The legs are damp where they've been picking up that moisture, and it's too far to ride to work to end up moist and damp and wet all day at work. Anyway, they'd make fun of me, but that's okay. But it's beautiful right now. Checked the radar before I left the house. Wasn't any rain in the area, so I'll probably get soaked before I get home. You know how the weatherman is. But it's just the way it works. Yeah. Get the ease up to 55 here. Well, I'm already there, but get the ease up to 55 officially here around this corner. And that's the sweet spot for this bike. It loves 60, 65, 70. It likes 70 okay, but 60, 65 is where it really likes to run. And now we can ease up there a little bit. Yeah, man, right there. Oh, yeah. It's sweet. It's telling me it really likes it. Just cars, trucks, planes, trains, I guess they all have a sweet spot. I used to have a car a long time ago, an old station wagon I bought from a guy. And this was a long time ago. This was back when I was in my 20s. And I bought an old Chevrolet Impala station wagon from a guy. I gave him $75 for it. And it ran. And I know this wasn't the Stone Age. This was just back in the 70s. And it had a real problem with it. If you hit the brakes, it made an immediate right turn and would actually put you in the ditch if you hadn't started turning the wheel to the left before you hit the brakes. And that's kind of interesting. It gave that car some character. And I drove it that way for a little while, and then I said, the hell with this. Went down to a local junkyard and took a ball joint tool with me and paid the guy at the junkyard $15 for the whole spindle assembly, including the tire and the rim and the brakes and everything. I just popped the two ball joints loose and lowered the A-arm and unhooked the steering arm, and I was home with it. Put it on the car, made all the difference. It actually didn't pull to the right anymore because it wasn't broken anymore. And I drove that car for about a year, but what the point I was going to get to was this thing was old and it was worn out. I don't know how many miles it had on it, but it was well over 100,000. Back in the 70s, that was a lot of miles on a car. And but this thing had a sweet spot, and its sweet spot was 55 miles an hour. It had a little bit of a shimmy and a shake until you got up to about 50. Smoothed out just beautifully at 55. It was just like sitting on your sofa at home watching the world go by. But when you ease that thing up to 60, by the time you got to 60, that steering wheel was jumping around in your hand, and that engine was making noise, and wind was blowing, making noise over the car, and it just didn't like it, and it would tell you it didn't like it. So you'd ease it on back down to 55. Now, you know, some of the roads out here, some of the highways I used to run on that time, they might be 70-mile-an-hour roads, but I was sitting there in that right lane just going 55. You know, that's the way that car was. Well, this motorcycle is 60. It loves 60. It'll, like I said, it'll run 70 and it'll do a good job for you at 70. But it just doesn't feel the same. Something about this bike. But, oh well, enough about my bike. Hope you've enjoyed going on this ride. Boy, I sure have. Even though the weather's not ideal and it's getting dark and I had to go to the store and couldn't go on some of my good roads. But you know, any time on this motorcycle is better than almost anything else. With the exception of my wife, I think and my grandkids, I think I love this motorcycle more than anything. It's just become such a part of me. You know, but I hope there's not a 12-step program out there somewhere to get me cured, because I don't want to be cured. I want this addiction to go on a long, long time. In fact, maybe, who knows, you never know how long you're going to keep something. I tend to keep things till I wear them out. And bought this one used, so it's got a head start on me, but I'm used too. I'm going to see which one of us wears out first. What do you think? All right. Well, hey, I really had a good time talking to you and had a better time riding this motorcycle. So, let you go. Take care. See you next time.